In my teaching of leadership, one of the books I've used is Peter Senge on the fifth discipline. And the focus there on personal mastery, organizational learning, on shared values, mental models, and then his fifth discipline, systems thinking. I really engage and like the emphasis on systems thinking. The others flow in, work with, but I think an understanding of systems is important for any leader, regardless at whatever level, to, in my opinion, be able to see a much bigger picture of things, to see more long-term, instead of, as Senge says, just looking at an event, just looking at the little problem that's right in front of you, or what appears to be the little change that needs to be made. If you don't see that in the context of a bigger picture, you're very likely, I think, to make a mistake, and as Senge says, have a fix that backfires, dealing with just a symptom and not the root cause of what the real problem is, when you don't look at the bigger picture long term, at the system itself. Because in a system, you have all these various parts that have interrelationships, and if you don't understand or work at getting at those, you'll stick with that one little symptom and miss that bigger picture in a real solution. One of the experiences I share to point out in terms of looking at something from just the event to looking at maybe some patterns to a real structural or system approach is a simple intersection where an accident takes place. And you look at that accident from the context of two cars running into each other, maybe one speeding, maybe one ran a stop sign, all the things that might have had an impact on that event. Just looking at that and trying to, okay, what do you learn from that? If you just stick with that event, you really don't get at the bigger picture. You could go to patterns then. What's the history of this intersection? How frequently do we have accidents like this? What are similar incidents that take place at that? And that gives you a bigger picture. But if you really want to look at that, you back away and get the bigger look. What's all involved? What about the topography? What about maybe one of the roads that leads into this intersection comes down off a steep hill, suddenly dropping right into the intersection? What about businesses in the area that are changing, where there's truck traffic that needs to be factored in, and really evaluating if you want to take a real look at that intersection for possible changes. If you only go back and look at one incident at a time and don't dig in deeper, don't ask critical questions to lead to more information, you're not going to really find the solution that is really best. It might be a roundabout, it might be a traffic light, it might be more turn lanes or whatever, or a change in the speed limit. But unless you look at that bigger picture, you're not going to make decisions that are really best and appropriate for that situation.